King Street is one of the longest and oldest thoroughfares in the city, which more than 1,500 years ago as a footpath between a cliff and a river. One of the most famous buildings on this street is the Dragon Hall, which used to be a former Manchester Hall dating from the 14th century.
The building is unique, we think, in England because it was built by one man, not a group of people for trade. One man, and not as a resident, not as somewhere to live. He didn't live there. He lived up nearer the marketplace, but he would walk to his place of business, if you like. It was only this sort of warehouse. It was only this very special warehouse for a short time. After that, things began to decline. Now, as you know, what's happened recently is the Writers' Centre have taken over. The National Centre for Writing has taken over Dragon Hall.
Opposite the Dragon Hall, there is a little alley called St. Julian's Alley that leads up to the only surviving church on King Street, in which dwelt the Lady Julian who wrote the earliest surviving book written in English. To discover more stories here, I had a pleased talk with the parish priest. So what do you think the church means for the Norwich city?
It's a really good question. We have a visitor's book at the church where people write down their comments when they're leaving. So when I read through those, I get a sense of what people value. I think one of the things that people value about the church is its atmosphere. It has a prayerful atmosphere, and people say that they find it easy to pray there. Whether they're Christian or not, we actually have some people who come in just because they like the peace. So they come to sit there in the silence or to meditate or something like that. We've got a lovely garden around the back of the church. Even though it's right in the city centre, we've got a garden around the back. So when you're sitting in there, there's bird song and sunshine, and it's quite a relaxing place. So people value that. I think they value the church because it's a physical sign of hope. And what I mean by that is that the church we have now is actually quite new. And the medieval church that Julian lived in herself was destroyed in the Second World War in 1942. And it was almost entirely destroyed and was rebuilt in the 1950s. And there's a sign at the back of the church that says, hatred destroyed this church, but love rebuilt it. And I think that's a very powerful image of what faith can bring to the world, that actually hatred always destroys things, but love can always rebuild. And I think people find that quite a powerful and hopeful message.